in the chain of title, judgments, and liens. Okay, this is where I get all of my questions. I get a lot of questions about how many have you seen a title report where the title company has taken exception to what we call, in the industry, we lovingly refer to them as an uninsured conveyance. Okay? And you wonder, what is that? Why are they showing an uninsured conveyance? And I get the question all the time. Well, it's signed, it's notarized, it's recorded. Okay. Well, how many think that just because it's signed, it's notarized, it's recorded, it makes it a valid transfer? It doesn't. I'll tell you what, I can sign a quitclaim deed on the property this building is on, have somebody notarize it, take it down to the recorder, and record it. Does it mean anything? No, it doesn't. So we always take exception to a conveyance in the chain of title where we can't tell that it went through a traditional closing with an escrow and a title. Okay, and that's important to not just the title industry, but to all of you folks as well, that we can tell that, because the title company insures the whole entire chain of title from the first land grant out of the government, okay, to present day. We insure, even if I issue a policy today, I'm saying that entire chain of title is all good. And if one of those links fail, then I have total failure of title from that point forward. Okay, so, and the reason why escrows are important and title is important in determining whether a transfer is valid is because, for those of you who remember from real estate school, what makes a transfer valid? What makes a deed valid? And recording is not one of the elements that makes a deed valid. Okay? It helps. If you don't record it, shame on you because you didn't put the public on notice that you are entitled to this piece of property, but recording is not one of the elements to make a deed valid. Okay? It must have consideration of some sort, whether it be love and affection, whether it be a motorhome, whether it be cash. Okay? It must have a giver and a receiver, and it must have the proper language of granting and conveying. Okay? It must be signed. Okay? And the two big ones, and this is where we tell between escrow and title that there was an actual intent of delivery, take it from me, and acceptance. That is two key elements. All of them are important, but those are two key elements of a valid deed. So if it's an uninsured conveyance, we have no idea. We might be able to tell it's signed, there's a giver, there's a receiver, and they might even put some language on there that there was some consideration. But we have no idea whether there was an intent to deliver or to accept by uninsured conveyance. We can, we can tell it's been insured and there's an escrow involved, because that's prima facie evidence that it was done in the escrow, and that's a key element. Because what if it's a deed from mom to the kids, and mom's been in hospice thinking all day long she's been signing these birthday cards to Aunt B, but they're not. They're grant deeds to properties that mom owns. What if Ryan and I are partners and we buy and invest property, but I'm the lazy guy, all I want to do is give him the money to do it. You go do the work, you go fix it up and sell it and just give me my share. And I'm going to go and travel. But if anything ever happens to me, I've signed all these deeds and I stuck them in my desk drawer. If something happens to me, I want you to take them, I want you to record them. And Ryan's like, that dirty rotten scoundrel, all he does is make me work. He's all gallivanting around, I'll show him. I'm going to go to that desk drawer, I'm going to pull out all those deeds, get them recorded, I'm going to sell this property, and then I'm going to be somewhere on the beach collecting 20%. I signed them. They got recorded, they're notarized, but there was no intent to deliver or for me to deliver them to Ryan at all. So it's an invalid deed, and if that deed fails, you have total failure of title from that point forward, and then we have no defense in that, zero defense at all. Title company just breaks out their checkbook and starts writing checks to make everybody whole. There was a very notable case a couple years ago out in Los Angeles during the boom time, so it was more than a couple years ago, I'm just trying to be optimistic. So, where some elderly lady, and she was blind, and she lived in Los Angeles, lived there in a very